Welcome all of you in SST College of Arts and Commerce. This is SST Edupedia. Myself Shagun Tiwari from Department of IT and CS. Today we'll start with the Software Engineering course from program SYBSc CS SEM 4. Okay, so in this video we are going to discuss Introduction to UML Diagrams Part 2. Part 1 we already recorded in last video. So today we'll start with the class diagram. So here class diagram actually gives the relationship between the classes which are present in your project. So n number of classes can be there. So it basically represents how they are related with each other and how the communication is done between the different classes. So class diagrams are nothing but the static diagrams. They display what interacts but not what happens when they interact. Okay, so it always shows the attribute and the operation of each class. Good way to describe the overall architecture of the system components and explain each and every component in detail. So what is the perspective of class diagram? So here we can draw class diagram under three perspectives. First, conceptual. In that we can draw software independent, language independent, and the second perspective is specification. It focuses on the interfaces of the software, and the third perspective is nothing but the implementation. So implementation focuses on the software. So if we talk about class diagram, so class diagram not just for code, it's also for the UML diagrams, means modeling language. So class actually represent the concept of the software, and class encapsulates different attributes and their behaviors in diagrams. So each attribute has a type. There might be n number of types of attributes in your project. So each operation has a signature. The class name is the only mandatory information about the class. Okay. So the next instances we'll discuss the instances in the class diagram. So as you can see, we represent the class instances in the given format. Syntax is there. First of all, on the top of the block or the table, you can see tariff 1974 and their tariff schedule is there. So this is nothing but the name of the class. In that it has different attributes. Okay, so an instance basically represents the phenomena of the class. So the name of the instance is underlined and can contain the class of the instance. The attributes are represented with their values, the real values. Then UML class notations. If we go for the notations, so class is a rectangular and it is basically divided into three parts. You can see the example in this slide where we have given one employee class. So there, as you can see, the class name is employee, and after that details are there. Details of the employee is there, like name, which is in the form of string, and ID, which is in the form of long, salary, which is double. This is nothing but the types of variables. Then at the third part, you can get the name, set the name, or the calculate, means the operations you can enter over there. So the main three parts are known as, first one is known as class name, second one is class attribute, and third one is the class operation or method. And here different modifiers we are using, just like for private, public. For public we use plus, and for private we use dash, and hash is nothing but the protected. So static things are underlined and shared among all the members of the classes, means that would be sharing. And abstract name is in italic. Okay, so now the UML class, again the next slide about the UML class notations. So here we use line or arrows between the classes to indicate the relationship. So four types of relations we can see here. First one is association. So association is a relation between the instances of two classes where one class must know about the other to do its work. For example, client committee to the client communicates to the server, and it indicates by a straight arrow, straight line or arrow. And after that association we have aggregation relation in the class diagram. So an aggregation where one class belongs to a collection, or example instructor or the faculty. So in instructor part of the faculty, so it is known as aggregations. So it indicates by an empty diamond on the side of the collection. We'll see the example later on. Composition relations, so it is nothing but strong form of aggregation. So it is nothing but the lifetime control. Components cannot exist without the aggregate. It indicates by a solid diamond on the side of the collection. After that, the fourth relation is nothing but the inheritance. So an inheritance link indicating one class, a super class relationship. For example, bird is the part of mammal, so it indicates by a triangular point to a superclass. So now we'll see the binary associations here. So binary associations, both entities are there, knows about each other. Okay, so you can see A and B, two associations are there and they are connected with a single line. So this is nothing but the binary associations. So class A and class B, and they are connected and they are associated with the each other. Now unary association. Association has two types, binary, so it is not arrow. Arrow is not there in the binary association. In case of the unary associations, arrow is there. If you can see, class A is pointing towards class B, arrow points in the direction of the dependencies. It's actually showing the how they are dependent on each other. So now the aggregation. So you can, this is the sign of aggregation, which is a empty diamond. So here create a module. So hollow diamond on the collection side, it basically shows the aggregation relation between the classes. So aggregation is formed between collection and the membership. Okay, so this is the example of aggregation relation. Now the composition relation. So here you can see this relation is denoted with the fill diamond on the side of the collection. Okay, so it is pointing towards the side of the collection, which is lifetime control, means like owner control construction or the destruction. The part object may belongs to only one whole object. Okay, so here is the example for composition. Now we'll go to the last relation, which is nothing but the inheritance. So this is the inheritance relation. So in case of inheritance, the arrow shows the base class and the start of the line showing the derived class. Okay, so class B is derived from the class A. So this is the inheritance. So here class B will represent, or it will be having few properties of class A because it is inherited class or derived class. So now we'll discuss about the UML multiplicity, means how we can see the multiple relations in the class diagram. Okay, so in case of the multiplicity, we show 0 to 1 relation. Okay, so here 0 to 1 or one instance, there n number of instances can be there, we can show the relation 0 to 1 relation between them, and after that 0 to 0 multiplication, so or star we can say. So this has no limits on the number of instances. And if we show 1 in case of multiplicity, so there it is exactly having 1 instances. After that 1 with star, it is showing at least 1 instances between the classes of between the different classes. So now we'll see the example of class diagram. As you can see here, different classes are there like customer, order, payment, then credit, cash, check, and order details. So as you can see, customer and order is having 1:0 relation, and order and payment is having 1:1 relation, and in between payments and credit, cash and check, this is nothing but a generalization relation is there between them. Okay, so now here where we are showing the diamond, so there hollow diamond, which is nothing but the aggregation relation. So order detail is having aggregation relation between the orders. So this is example for UML diagram. Now association details we'll see. So it can assign names to the end of the association to give the further information. So as we can see, group team is there, and there a single employee, which is nothing but the individual employee is there, and this is the class diagram for the association relation between them. Now what is static and dynamic design? We saw that the class diagram is a static diagram. Then what is the difference between static design and dynamic design? So static basically is describe the class relation, objects at the design time, and it doesn't change. But instead of that, dynamic design is the similarity to the class relations, can follow the sequences of event and may change depending upon the execution scenario. So it is called the object diagram, means it is the extended form of the class diagram only. So here in object diagram will represent the different objects of the classes. So it shows the instances of the class diagram and links among them. Okay, so an object diagram is a snapshot of the objects in any system. So at a point in any time we can show the object relation with the class, and with the selected focus we can show the interaction, which is nothing but the sequence diagram, and message passing, collaboration diagram, operation deployment diagram. These are nothing but the different focuses on your project. We can use these diagrams to describe your overall software project. Now we'll see about the object diagram. So this is the example of object. As you can see, the name of the object is there, which is nothing but ID label with the class name. Means M1 is nothing but the ID, and menu window is the class name of that object. After that we will show different attribute values. So here object diagram is having two parts. First one, as you can see, ID, and second one is the attribute. Now this is the example of object. You can see the link here. We show the relationship between the different objects. Mean in company, if company is the class, so it can have many departments. So department will be nothing but the objects. So for example, sales department, US sales department, and person. So these all are nothing but the object of a company. So will represent company as a class name, and these departments and person as a object. And will show the details in that diagram, which is known as attributes. Thank you.